270 feet below the surface of the Atlantic sits 53 tons of gold coins. While their face value was massive in 1909, modern appraisals by world coin experts suggest that in their current condition, this cargo could be worth as much as $7 billion. This is the RMS Republic. Launched in 1903 by the same Belfast shipyard that would later build the Titanic, she was a 570-foot luxury liner catering specifically to Wall Street's elite, earning her the nickname the Millionaire ship. On January 23, 1909, the Republic was steaming through a dense fog off the coast of Nantucket when the Italian liner SS Florida suddenly emerged from the mist. The Florida, which was packed with refugees fleeing a catastrophic earthquake in Sicily, ran directly into the Republic's side. The survival of a ship in a collision depends on its watertight compartments. Because the Florida struck with its bow, its forward bulkheads took the force and held, keeping the ship afloat. But the Republic was struck broadside. The impact breached multiple bulkheads at once, rendering her unsinkable design useless, as the ocean poured into her engine rooms. With the engines failing, wireless operator Jack Binns rigged a temporary battery system to power his transmitter. He stayed at his post and taps out the first CQD distress signal ever sent from a sinking ship, a call for help that saved nearly everyone on board before the vessel foundered. The Republic was the largest ship ever lost at sea up to that point, yet for over a century, the details of her sinking remained obscured. Acknowledging her loss meant exposing a secret cargo that several nations were desperate to keep hidden. 40 years of research into the Republic's manifests have finally revealed what was in those holds: the personal fortunes of the millionaires on deck and an $800,000 payroll intended for the U.S. Navy's Great White Fleet. But the most sensitive cargo was 45 tons of American gold eagle coins. This $25 million shipment was a secret delivery bound for the government of Tsar Nicholas II. At the time, the Russian Empire was on the brink of collapse following a humiliating defeat in the Russo-Japanese War. To keep the monarchy from falling to revolution, the Tsar had secured a massive loan from French banks to repay his war debts and fund his 1909 budget. The Republic's gold was the physical backbone of that loan. If the public had known the gold was gone, the bond issue would have failed, Russia would have defaulted, and the government would collapse nearly a decade before the eventual Bolshevik Revolution. To maintain world stability and keep Russia as a deterrent to German expansion, 4 superpowers, Britain, France, the United States, and Russia, conspired to suppress the official inquiry. They erased the Republic's cargo from the archives to prevent a global financial panic. In the decades since, that secrecy turned the wreck into a legal battlefield. A salvage company called Mavis spent 40 years in court fighting the U.S. government, which claimed it owned the gold because it had bailed out the banks that originally held the Russian bonds. The case turned on a specific distinction in maritime law. Under standard salvage law, a recoverer is only entitled to a fee from the original owner. But if a court rules that the property was intentionally abandoned, the law of fines applies, granting the salver full ownership of everything they bring up. However, history shows that a legal win is no guarantee of profit. In the similar Columbus America case, the salver spent $30 million on recovery, only to find $21 million in gold, a financial disaster despite their legal victory. Mavis cleared that hurdle in 2011, when a U.S. district court awarded them legal title to the wreck and all its cargoes. With the ownership settled, the focus shifted from the courtroom to the engineering required to reach the vault. Finding the gold means navigating a 570-foot ruin. Researchers believe the coins are split between 2 specific high-security areas in the stern, the spacey room and the second-class baggage room. By aligning original Harland and Wolff deck plans with modern side-scan sonar imaging, the team has been able to pinpoint the exact location of these vaults within the collapsed wreckage. These highlighted target areas show the gold resting deep within the stern, buried beneath at least 3 decks of debris and thousands of tons of steel plating. Tunneling into the wreck is impossible. The interior decks collapsed long ago, creating a dense pile of steel and sediment. Reaching the gold requires a top-down excavation, stripping away the entire section of the ship, beam by beam, to expose the cargo from above. Precision scanning has finally decoded the wreck's layout, transforming what was once a decades-long mystery into a targeted industrial operation. This recovery is a massive logistical undertaking. It requires a 500-foot salvage barge and offshore crawler cranes equipped with 1,000-ton hydraulic grabs to clear the path to the vault. To survive the crushing pressure and lethal currents of the North Atlantic, the team utilizes advanced ROVs and saturation diving. These divers live in pressurized chambers for weeks, working in near-total darkness to guide the cranes as they tear away the layers of debris covering the gold. The financial stakes are equally extreme. The operation costs roughly $115,000 per day, with the team estimating a total of $25 million in costs just to reach the chamber where the gold is stored. This is no longer a legend or a rumor. 53 tons of gold are currently resting in the dark, waiting for the moment this machinery finally rips the roof off the vault.